Alright, this is gonna be part two to what if Deku had Sage Mode. And last time I left off, Deku was going to the entrance exam. So Deku, he's seen going to UA, having arrived at the entrance exam. And when he enters UA, he ain't tripping. No, he ain't falling. He ain't scared. He ain't nervous. He knows he about to whoop whoever and whatever is in front of him. So he goes inside UA. President Mike explains how the entrance exam works, which begins with a practical test with Deku. He's smart, so he gets a higher score in Canon, which I don't remember what was the score in Canon, but just know he's top 5. So with that done, it's time for the practical test. The practical test. So they're trying to see how many robots can you dispatch to get the highest score. So the president Mike is explaining, zero pointer. The 1 pointer, the 2 pointer, the 3 pointer. And, he is about to talk about the 0 pointer, but then this dude just decides to stand up and just go, hey, I'm very disappointed in UA. Y'all ain't say all of the parts of the test. I'm very disappointed, blah, 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 blah. And Deku, he gets up and says, hey, if you were to shut the fuck up, you would have heard him say that he was literally just about to talk about the 0 pointer. If you just kept your mouth shut. And Ida, he kind of embarrassed, so he just shuts up and sits down. And President Mike says thank you as he continues to talk about other shit. So, the test is about to start, and, Izuku sees this chick with brown hair, and he sees her shaking. She kind of scared. And, Deku, he tried to go up to her, try to calm her down, let her know that it's not as bad as she's making it out to be. And, bitch boy shows up again, Ida. And he's like, hey, you can't be trying to, like, you're going up to that girl, you're gonna mess up her chances of getting the UA, just talking about some shit that no one wants to hear. And Deku, we just looking at him like, bro, this is the second time you off running your mouth on some bullshit. Leave me the fuck alone. I wasn't even going. The only reason why I'm going up to her is that she's looking nervous. Can't you see that? And Ida looks to see Uraraka like shaking. And Ida goes, yes, but. And Izuku cuts him off. No, there is no but. If I tell you what I was going to do, and you stop me, and then when I explain to you what's going on, and the situation is exactly how I said it was, now you look stupid. Now shut the fuck up and leave me alone. As Izuku walks off, and Ida, he's like, the fuck? I know this little nigga ain't try to talk down to me like that. And, he ain't saying this out loud. He's saying it underneath his breath. And, test starts. President Mike goes off on his own. There's no countdowns in the battlefield and go. And off rip, within the first, 10, no, not 10, 3 minutes, Izuku already got 50 points. He smashed the robots. It's not that hard for Izuku to just keep racking up points. Keep stacking, stacking, stacking. So right now, he's at 70. Yeah, let's just say 70. And Izuku knows that he got to slow down a bit. So he slows down and he sees the 0 pointer and he sees everyone just running in the opposite direction. And Izuku's like, oh, so this is the 0 pointer. Well, it ain't worth any points, so I'm not about to. And before he can finish saying something, he hears someone call out for help. excuse me, hear someone calling out for help, and it's the same chick that he was going to talk to help cheer her up, but the test started, so he couldn't help her out. So Izuku, he runs up to her, and he removes the rubble from off of her, and he grabs her bridal style as he runs away. And he runs away, and the test ends. And yeah, test over, and Deku takes Uraraka to Recovery Girl to fix her ankle. And so she says thank you, and Zuko says no problem as he body flickers home. He body flickers home, and his mom says, "So, how you think you did?" And Zuko says, "I think I did pretty good." And the dad comes in like, "That's my boy," on some father shit. And so, next day, or a few weeks, I should say, and Inko and Hisashi bust through Deku's door, and they're saying that you got your letter for UA. And he looks at the letter, and it's a hologram of All Might telling him that you got 70 points, no, 70 villain points and another 70 rescue points, which gives Deku 140 points. And Deku, which gives Deku first place. And Deku, he's like, he ain't crying, but he's happy. And so he goes, next day, he goes to UA, and he's walking around looking for the class 1A, and he just sees this big ass door, and he's just thinking to himself, what kind of people with course gonna have doors this damn big? And so he goes in, and he hears two people arguing. Well, one person screaming at the other, and it's the same nigga again, Ida. And Ida over telling Bakugo put his feet off the desk, and Bakugo goes, did you have a stick in your ass when you came to your school, or were you born with it? And Ida acting all like you would dare speak to your classmate like that, and and then Uraraka shows up behind him, and she says, "Oh, it's you. Thank you for helping me out." And Deku's like, "Oh, no problem. I'm always willing to help someone out. That's what a hero does, right?" And as they're talking, they see a dude in a yellow sleeping bag just roll into their classroom. And he gets out the sleeping bag and says, "Hey, I'm Shoto Exawa. I'm going to be your homeroom teacher. Put these clothes on. We're going outside for a quirk evaluation test." And Uraraka first want to say, "Don't we have orientation?" And as I was like, a hero doesn't have to worry about situ or orientations or presentations like that. It's a hero's job to protect, not go to some stupid orientation. So they leave out, and they go out, and Shota Exawa gives Deku the ball, and he says, "You got first place. So what was your highest ball throw in middle school?" And Deku, he thinking about it, and he just says 150 meters. And the Shoto's always just kind of shocked, like, wait, what? 150 meters? God damn. Alright. Now, I want you to throw this ball with using your cork. And Deku says, alright. As he has the ball, and he throws it. And I'm going to say he gets 1,205. Yeah. And everyone, they're like, damn. And Mina, she says, this looks fun. I want to go. And everyone, they're feeling the same way. Like, I want to go. And Shota's, he sees this like, alright, since y'all think this is going to be fun, the person who gets last place in this test gets expelled from the school immediately. Everyone like, what the fuck? How is that fair? And Shouta is on his own. You think life is fair? Life isn't fair. Villains ain't fair. My bad, my sister walked by. She was giving me food. So, as I was just telling them how you can't expect life to be fair towards you. You as a hero need to work to combat that unfairness. And everyone takes this to heart. And Tess goes like Deku getting not 100, gets first to second place in almost all of them, and so which gives him first to second place in the overall test. So as Zawa says, I wasn't really going to expel anybody. It was just to make you work harder. And so everyone, they're like, fuck. How are we gonna know if this guy is serious or not when he actually does shit like this? And so, I'm gonna say a week passes, I guess. And it's the heroes versus villain. Someone in the comments asked me, what is the ship gonna be? Well, that's a very easy question to answer. The ship is gonna be Deku X Suya. Because, Toad Frogs, we gotta represent. I'm stupid. Anyway, it's, heroes versus villains. And instead of it being Deku and Uraraka, it's gonna be Deku and Suya. And the villain's still gonna be the same, Bago and Ida. And the villain team first goes in, and they wait, and the hero team go in. And Suya just asked Deku, so what exactly is your quirk? And he says, oh, my quirk is Sage mode and energy manipulation. And she said, so is that why your eyes are like that? And he says, yeah. Sage mode, for some reason, gives me eyes of a toad. And she goes, oh, I guess that's pretty cool. And Deku's like, well, what about you? And she goes, what do you mean? She goes, what do you mean? And Deku's like, well, I'm a toad, kinda. You're a frog, kinda. How about after this testing, we go out? And she blushing, and she says, sure. And Deku, he smiling, chilling, and they go inside, and Deku says, so I'm gonna go ahead first, cause I know Bakugo is gonna be after me first. And as soon as he said that, Bakugo just come in, busting through the door. And then, Deku tells Suyu to go find the bomb. And, they, Bakugo and Deku, they talk in a minute. So, Bakugo, I seen you got stronger over the 10 months. And I forgot the, Bakugo and Deku's relationship, it's not as toxic as it was in the canon. Because, Bakugo respect Deku and his power, and they're pretty much rivals. And, Bakugo's like, yeah, I have gotten stronger. But for some reason, I can never beat you. And then Bakugo says, well, I'm going to change that right here, right now. And Deku just says, well, your call. And, they have a pretty good fight, actually. Pretty good fight, you know. Pretty good fight, and it's going to be climactic fight. Bakugo does an explosion, Deku does a Rasengan, making a huge explosion. Just, they going hard. Because when Bakugo knows how hard Deku fights, which made Bakugo want to train harder. But, alright, I'm back. So, Bakugo, he gets enough sweat to unleash his big explosion move. And, Deku, he sees this and he charges up a Rasen Shuriken. And with Wako, he says, die, as he unleashes the explosion, and Deku throws the Rasen Shuriken, and both moves cancel out each other. And Bakugo, he exhausted, but Deku, he's still ready for like round 2. So Deku says, well, Bakugo, you're tired and I'm not, so I'm going to finish this, as he charges up a Rasengan and just slams it into Bakugo's chest, knocking him out. And so Deku calls to Suyu like, hey, I got Bakugo, did you find the bomb? And she says yes. And Deku, he goes upstairs, up the floors, because I think the bomb was like on the first floor, I think, or somewhere like that. So they walk up there, and Deku gives a plan to like draw Ida out, and Tsuyu will go and touch the bomb. So that's the plans. They go, and Deku draws out Ida like, hey, you remember me, bitch boy? And Ida, he gritting his teeth like, you, as he immediately just charges right at Deku. And Deku's thinking, perfect. As they have a pretty good fight. Well, not pretty good fight, more like Deku just beating the shit out of Ida. But, after Ida is pretty much on the ground, hurt, and he gets back up again. He's like, I ain't losing to you. My armor is impenetrable. And Deku goes, is that right? And he charges up a Rasengan, and he mixes the Chidori with it, causing it to like cackle and spin at the same time. And so he charges at Ida, and he slams it into Ida's armor, shattering it immediately. And so she touches the bomb, and all my screams out, hero team wins. And Ida, he's like, what? And he looks back to see Suyu next to the bomb. And he's like, damn it. As, they leave out. Everyone congratulating Deku on with that idea. And yeah, after that, I'm gonna say Deku and Suyu go on deck that date. Yeah, I'm gonna sauce this up a little bit. They going on a little date. You know, they have fun, go to the movies, chilling, shit like that. And you know, they're pretty much just like dating now. And you know, next day, Mina, she just already got just looking at Deku come into the room with Suyu with his arm wrapped around her. And you know, not Suyu, Mina just saying like, oh, look at the amphibian couple. And you know, Suyu blush and Deku he like, damn right. And so it's time for the USJ art. So, you know, USJ, everyone on the bus, and you know, Deku he's still sitting with Suyu. And everyone they just chilling, talking, and everyone's asking Deku what his quirk is. Suyu she don't have to ask since she already asked him. So, you know, instead of Suyu asking, Mina asks, so Deku, what's your quirk? Oh, he just says, my quirk is sage mode and energy manipulation. Now, if I say energy manipulation, just know I'm talking about chakra. And so and Mina just asked, so is sage mode the reason why your eyes look like that? And Deku just says yes. And Azawa just goes, alright, shut the fuck up. It's time for us to get off the bus. And they can get off the bus and, you know, 13 talking about how quirks can be evil, but at the same time good. And, you know, Kirishima talk about some, oh, look at the fake villains. And, you know, Deku and Azawa look back. And then they both say at the same time, those aren't fake villains. And, you know, Deku, I mean, Azawa, he trusts Deku in this prowess of fighting. Like, he trusts Deku. So, you know, Azawa and Deku jump down. And it takes, what took Azawa half the time, and Canon just took even shorter. Because, you know, Deku, he is a good fighter. Azawa, he's also a very good fighter. So after they get through whooping all other pretty much Shigaraki's underlings ass, Shigaraki, you know, scratching his neck like a crackhead, and he's like, they're cheating. And he's just like, Kirigiri, get the Nomu. And, you know, Kirigiri gets out the Nomu. And Deku, he sees this, and he's like, this thing looks strong. Let's see how strong it is. So, you know, Deku, he charges a Dory, and he jabs it at the Nomu's arm, completely not decapitating her, just cutting off his arm. And then the arm just regenerates. And Deku, he's like, the fuck? And Shigaraki's like, ha! It has shock absorption and a supernatural healing regeneration type shit. And, you know, Deku's like, huh. Well, thanks for telling me. And, you know, Deku just thinking to himself, if I just destroy the cells faster than they can regenerate, then he can't regenerate them. So Deku, you know, I'm just gonna say Deku has a kunai with him just because of his dad. He has a kunai, and he charges the Chidori, and he runs straight at the Nomu. The Nomu running at Deku, and Deku just chops off the Nomu's head with the Chidori. And, you know, Shigaraki, you know, he pissed, and he runs at Deku, and, you know, Deku side swipes Shigaraki, and then punches him, in his gut super fucking hard, making him pass out. And Kirigiri tries to go after him, but Bakugo grabs Kirigiri like, "Where the fuck you going?" And the heroes get there, and Bakugo's kind of distracted as Kirigiri teleports Shigaraki and everyone else away. And Bakugo, he's like, "Damn it!" And people can congratulate Deku for finishing the job of the Nomu. And after that, Zawa shows up like, since y'all been pretty much exposed to villains, we're gonna give y'all a 1 to 2 week break. And so, within those 1 to 2 breaks, Deku, he trained a little bit with Suyu. They go on a few dates. They ain't doing nothing crazy yet. So, 2 weeks is up. And as Zawa says, alright, I'm gonna need y'all, we're gonna take another break off because y'all gonna need to train for the sports festival. And everyone, they hype. And Deku trains in a way to add, he's trying to combine both his Rasengan and a lightning release and wind release without it turning into like he's trying to throw it, but it's not really working for him. And so Deku, he pretty much takes the whole week working on this move that he's trying to get it, and he finally gets the move done. Basically, he charges up the Rasengan, but it's a much smaller one, and he charges it up, puts wind release into it, and puts lightning release into it, and he throws it, and then it vanishes in midair, and then it just smacks the opponent. If anyone knows what that move is, I fucks with you. And this is where Deku comes up with the move called Vanishing Rasengan. Now, if you're wondering what Deku's hero costume was, and I should have said this in the heroes versus villain, but pretty much his hero's costume is pretty much the sage jacket that Naruto wore when he fought Pain, but instead of it being red, it's green with black flames on it. So yeah, that's his hero costume. And so yeah, USJ time. It's the USJ, and it stays pretty much in canon, but it's the Deku gets first place for the race. Deku gets first place, Bakugo second, Todoroki third, and it's the time for the, I don't know what the fuck they called it, the thing to where people had to be on each other and shit for like I guess fuck the fuck is it called? Fuck it, fuck, y'all know what it is. Where they're just pretty much the rider, the people who have the shit. Fuck, I can't think of it. Hold up, cavalry battle. That's what the fuck it is. Damn it, I don't know why the fuck that was so hard to say. Um. So basically, who's gonna be on Deku team is, Suyu, Uraraka, Tokoyami, and Hakaguri. Why not? And you know, they get first place because Deku is on their team. Fucking anyone who gets close to him, he pretty much just blasts them away with wind chakra moves. So, second event of the USJ. Fuck. The sports festival. Fuck. Uh, that's the sports festival's over. Not over. Fuck. The cavalry battle's over. Fuck. See, I'm already fucking up. The cavalry battle was over, and Deku's team gets first place. And Shoto, he's on his old edgy shit like, oh, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna use half of my power. I'm only gonna use my mom's side, not my dad's side, because my dad was a bitch, blah, 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 blah. So, same as Canon happens. Deku versus Shinzo. And I'm gonna say, Ojiro does tell Deku to, like, don't talk to Shiro of his mind control quirk. And so, Deku versus Shino. And, Shino tries to say some stuff, but Deku isn't talking. And, Shino, he says some slide, like, oh, that girl Suyu is pretty cute. I wonder what that tongue do. And that kind of pisses Deku off, like, the fuck you say? And Shino, like, I got you. And, he gets placed under a mind control quirk of Shiro's. Shinzo, fuck. And, he just says, Deku, walk out of the arena. And, same as Canon happens, Deku walking, and I won't say he uses one for all, I'm just gonna say he falls on his face, and that broke him out of his mind control. And, Deku, he kind of cracked his neck. He's still pissed of what he said about Suyu. So, Deku just runs at him at full speed and punches him in his stomach, sending him out of the arena. Yeah, so that's over. Same as can happen with the rest of the fights. And, it's Deku versus Todoroki. And, Todoroki, like, I'm gonna win. Just on some bullshit like that. And Deku, he's like, sure, whatever you say. And so the battle starts, and Todoroki is just shooting ice at Deku, and Deku, he just dodging them all. And I'm gonna say Deku, he doesn't have, he has a move similar to what he does with One for All, but instead of it being One for All, it's just him using wind attacks. Like, when he flicks at things, it's not One for All. That's him using wind chakra. Alright, I'm back. My sister came in my room. And, basically what I was saying is, Deku is able to use his wind chakra to pressurize strikes from not far away distances, but, like, close to mid ranges. And so, and Deku, he's doing this and dodging the ice that Todoroki keeps shooting at him. And Deku, he gets close enough to Todoroki, and with a chakra enhanced punch, punches Todoroki in his gut. And Todoroki, he tries to stop himself with his ice, breaks through the first one, but gets saved by a second one. And so, Deku, he telling him, like, bro, if you don't use the other side of your court right now. I'm going to beat the other side off you. And so, Todoroki, he's like, no, I will never use that bastard's quirk. And Deku's like, listen here, you dumb little bitch. It's your quirk, not his. Was he born with half hot and half cold? No, he was born with hell flame. Was your mom, was she born with half hot, half cold? No, she was born with ice. And you are the perfect combination of both. So that makes you a lost cause if you're only using one side of it. And Todoroki, he thinking about it, and he's like, fuck, why didn't I think of that shit? And he ignites in flames, and Deku's like, finally, I can have a good match. So, Todoroki just now is spamming fire at Deku now, as if what he did before is gonna make it even better now. And Deku, he just says to Todoroki, hey, let's end this in one final move. And Todoroki's like, fine. And so Deku, he charges up a Rasengan. And this isn't a normal Rasengan. This is the Rasengan from the Boruto movie. That really fucking huge Rasengan. And so, not only is this Rasengan big, it has fire, wind, and lightning chakra natures in it. Making this shit strong as fuck. And so, Deku, he holding in his hand in the air. And people see how big this shit is. Todoroki, he does his move where he just freezes thing and then burn it very fast and shit. And so they both launch their moves at each other simultaneously. The heroes had to stop this, and then it still doesn't work. It goes straight through that shit. And Todoroki, the smoke clears out. Excuse me. Todoroki is out of the ring, and Deku, like literally, he is literally 1 foot from stepping off the arena. And Deku, he burnt pretty bad, but not pretty bad, but like his arm is burnt, and his shirt is completely burnt off. And Midnight says that the match is over. Deku wins. And Deku goes back, and Tsuyu hugs him, kisses him, and says, "Are you alright?" And Deku's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just a little burnt." And recovery. He goes to Recovery Girl, and she, and fixes his arm up for him. And so now it's time for the final battle, or the final event of the sports festival. And Bakugo versus Deku. And Bakugo just says off rip, "You better not hold out on me, Deku." And Deku says, I wouldn't think of it. As they both agree each other. As Midnight says, begin. And this fight, fucking amazing. It's pretty much just a combination of Deku's taijutsu and Bakugo using his explosions as a fighting style. And with Deku using wind enhanced and chakra enhanced punches, just fucking awesome battle. Just pretty much. They have a pretty good matchup. And I'm gonna say Bakugo's like, it's getting pretty beat up at this point. Because, Deku, when Deku does get his shots in, it does pretty fucking a lot of damage. And Bakugo, he knows that he needs to use his most powerful move to at least try to win this. And Bakugo says, "I'm going to finish this with this final attack." Deku says, "So am I." And so Deku charges up a Rasengan, and Bakugo charges at Deku with an Howitzer impact. As both attacks collide into each other, both of them are sent back. Bakugo, he hits the left side of the wall, and Deku, he hits the right side of the wall, which making this match a draw. Yeah. And with that, Bakugo and Deku share first place. Todoroki got second. And sports festival is over. And that's where I'm going to end it off for right now.